chat, what it do. Yes, sir. We live, the Phase on View podcast, man. Episode 426. Let's go, y'all. We just had Super Bowl weekend, a lot to be excited for. I'm not excited for real, because the Eagles won the championship, but they deserved it, bro. They deserved it. They've been the best team throughout the year. If you look at the offense and their defense, they had all the talent there. And for real, they shut all the haters up. So you got to give them their respect. They came in and dominated the game. The Chiefs haven't been playing the best all year, but they find ways to win. But they wouldn't find no way to win against that defense. If I can give a MVP to the defense, I would give an MVP to defense because they dominated the whole game. And I will say I'm happy for Saquon. Saquon moving on and moving forward to a new franchise, new team. And you know, the Giants, guess what? That's what you get. As soon as they got Saquon, it was up from there. They already had all the pieces to be a successful team. They went into the draft. They got a lot of good rookies on the defensive side of the ball, like Cooper DeJean. Hey, they got a solid squad. And honestly, hey, it's up to us to stop them for real as a Commanders fan. But like all jokes aside, like that was a dominating performance. It was one of those Super Bowls I didn't like. It wasn't an entertaining Super Bowl. It was a blowout Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was already over by the halftime. It was 24-0 at the halftime. They shut down Mahomes. Mahomes looked uncomfortable. Mahomes looked uncomfortable the whole game. That defensive line shut things down. Jalen Hurts, he stepped up on the offensive side of the ball. And even with Saquon not having the best of games, they managed the time. Time of possession. That's most important in football is time of possession and turnovers. They had the least turnovers, and honestly, they forced turnovers. Like I never seen Mahomes look like that in any game. And even when, you know, they were down, you know, I really didn't doubt him because you could never go against Mahomes. But like you knew it was over at halftime. It was up. This was one of the Super Bowls that reminded me of like the Patriots versus the Rams. You know, it was just not an entertaining Super Bowl, just solely off the fact you don't want to see a game where it's just solely dominated by one side. You think both of these teams, they get to the Super Bowl to perform. So it's like, it was one of those games where it was just like kind of a disappointment. But this was a Super Bowl that, you know, like we said, nobody really won it because these two teams that played each other, it was a battle rematch. You had a team that was going for the 3P. You have Eagles franchise that's now got 2 Super Bowl rings, and then you had the narrative and the storyline based off of Saquon. Will he get a ring, you know, after all he's been through with the other franchise? Then you also have Jalen Hurts. Will he, you know, lose again to Patrick Mahomes? And then you start to think as a franchise, like it's hard to get to the Super Bowl. That's why what the Chiefs have done is so impressive, and you really got to give your hats off to the Chiefs too, because they get there every single year. And one thing I did observe about the game is that y'all pick and choose. Y'all pick and choose because the refs, they were calling it even, but the first 2 penalties on both sides shouldn't have been penalties. What's it called? The penalty against the Eagles, where Brown, you know, pushed him in his face, was a PI. That was debatable. You're not really supposed to call that, but I mean he called it. Then you had McDuffie who made a play on the ball and didn't hit him in the head, and that was a pivotal play in the game, and that started the onslaught of the Eagles starting to score. So it's like, keep the playing field even and call a spade, because on one side, when the Chiefs get calls, they's like, oh, it's rigged, the fix is in. But when the Eagles got calls, it was just like, oh, nah, this is amazing. This is amazing to see the Chiefs just get dominated and get crushed. So like, I feel like it's a lot of pick and choose, and that's what a lot of us do out nowadays, just really pick and choose based on who's playing. Because we understand that the Chiefs, they get majority of the calls, but if you really look at it, they're still a great team no matter what, regardless of anything. They get there. They've been in 7 straight AFC championships. They've been to 4 or 5 Super Bowls in the last 7 to 8 years. Like, it's commendable. Like, you have to give them their credit, and I'll give the Eagles their credit. Like, they dominated the game. So like, the Super Bowl, it was over by halftime. So we were all looking forward to. We already know what's about to happen with this Kendrick Lamar performance. And I have a lot to say about the Kendrick Lamar performance. The halftime performance, It's kind of getting mixed reviews right now. You have one side that was saying it was boring, it was trash, is the worst Super Bowl halftime performance ever, and then you have a lot of people saying it was one of the best, and a lot of the imagery and the symbolism was good. I'm on the side of it. Me personally, I think the Super Bowl performance was mid, and I'll say that solely off of the. I don't think there was a good set list. It was a bad choice of songs. The songs were just solely dedicated off of his last album, which was GNX, and it talked about Drake. So him talking about Drake and then throwing it Not Like Us this in there, which we knew he was going to perform, it took away from his moment. And everybody out there talking about the symbolism, oh, you don't get it, you don't get it. It's not us hating. It's not saying that we don't understand the message and the symbolism. When you had Samuel come out and you had talk about, oh, well, they don't want you to perform this. Conform to the white America, you know? And then you also had the imagery of what Kendrick was doing was just like, look, our black culture, you know, everything is built off our black culture. You know, you guys are making money off of our backs. I got that as well too. And then you also had Samuel talking about some, you know, like, hey, this is too ghetto. Try to conform to this. Try to conform to that. You know, I get all of that. But overall, it was a mid performance to me. The audio was bad for me. It was an underwhelming performance. And y'all hyped this performance up all year long. Let's call it what it is. You hyped it up all year long. And then also, the performance felt like it was just solely based off another man, which was Drake. It's like the Drake effect. And in this sense, I feel like it backfired in this sense. You had people that felt like it was successful. I don't think it was as successful as they thought it would be. And one thing I thought about this Super Bowl performance and about Kendrick specifically is that I find it hypocritical and a contradiction, because everything that you talked about within the symbolism within black America and with white America and conforming to this and conforming to that and all the symbolism in it, at the end of the day, it's still a sense of divide. The same allegations that you have against Drake are the same people that signing your checks, are the same people that employed you at the Super Bowl, you are the same people pushing the agenda. All you are right now is a pawn in the chess move. Because we all seen we seen the high five between Dre and Lucian. We seen that. We like that's exactly what Drake is talking about as far as the industry being against him. So you are a part of that movement as well too. And I felt like Kendrick has classics. We know that Kendrick has a good catalog, but where people are looking at is that, okay, well, you just played music that didn't appeal not even to the audience. It just wasn't good music for the Super Bowl, to be honest. A lot of people didn't know the songs. A lot of people were just there to see you play Not Like Us, which plays into the same rhetoric and the same thing we've been talking about for the last 6 to 9 months now, is that we're pushing this Drake hate campaign. It's like enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you had your victory lap, you did what you had to do. And it's not anybody hating on it. And that's my problem with these Kendrick bandwagon fans and these casual fans. And I ain't talking about the fans that been there the day one. I'm talking about the bandwagon casual fans that sit here and talk like they woke coach and they knew everything Kendrick was doing before Not Like Us. No. And one thing I have a gripe with is that him playing Not Like Us speaks to the Drake effect even more. It takes away from you. It takes away from your success at the Super Bowl, and we're just strictly talking about the battle. And if I'm Drake in this instance, I'm not really worried. You know, I'm in Australia. I'm doing my thing. I got an album coming up. Like at this point, it's like it's overkill. And a lot of you got and it blows me, because a lot of you people that are on or think you choose a side, as soon as Drake music come out, y'all gonna be the first ones to listen to it. So it just be like, that's why I didn't really like enjoy the Super Bowl performance as well too, because he didn't play the classics. The audio wasn't the best. A lot of it for the majority of the performance was mumble. It felt like he was mumbling for the majority of the performance. When Not Like Us came out, the energy got up. And everybody started, joining in as well too. But also, it's like everybody sitting there talking about the symbolism, it was the art of it. Yes, the choreography was good, the dances were good. Nobody's dismissing that. Like at the end of the day, people are going to have their own opinion. And one thing that I did like about this is that in this sense is that Kendrick is not he like you can get criticized, bro. Everybody, this whole battle, this whole thing between Drake and Kendrick, a lot of people was just opposed to not criticizing Kendrick. No, he's not bigger than criticism. And I get the aspect of like people calling it bad, people calling it trash too. On the other side of things that can just be biased, I get that too. So you do have two sides of the coin, but just because people didn't like it, don't you have people that are just throwing out, oh well, the symbolism, you didn't understand, you don't get it, your brain is not working, you're slow. No, bruh. We just didn't like the performance. It wasn't the best performance that we seen in the Super Bowl. I think Dre and Snoop, they set a standard, and Rihanna and Usher, they were good as well too, but nobody has reached that standard since. So let's not look at it in the sense of like people just hating on Kendrick. No, we just didn't like the performance. It was a lackluster performance for all the hype that it was getting. It got a lot of hype throughout this whole last year. So you would think that, okay, when we get here, it's going to be something like that. And it's going to be classics that he played. He didn't play All Right. He didn't play Don't Kill My Vibe. He didn't play like Swimming Pools. It's a lot of classics he left on the table that was just like not played but he wanted to have a message, right, with GNX and with his latest album, but it more tailored to the Drake beef, and more tailored to shine a light on Drake and dissing him. And I feel like it's so hypocritical because the Diddy parties and the parties that you say that you don't want to be in and that you're not a part of, a lot of those people write your checks, push the same agenda that you're pushing right now. So it is hypocritical too when you talking about Drake and his allegations, when you have somebody that's co-signing you that has done similar stuff, that's actually in court, that are in those parties, that are in those rooms. And I'm not saying that, okay, just because somebody employ you got to control, you have control of whatever they do. But also, if I'm moving on a certain type of morals and principles, like I feel like Kendrick does, then I'm not going to be a part of this. But you have a lot of people that back you and that are doing some crazy things behind the door that you are aware of. So I just feel like it was a lot of contradiction in that. And like I just said, the overall focus was just solely on Drake. And for those Kendrick casuals out there and bandwagons, why are you guys getting mad that a lot of people are sending Wayne an apology? I feel like rightfully so, they should send Wayne an apology for the performance that we got that I don't feel like was up to par or the best performance. Wayne could have came out there and did that. Classics. And y'all sitting there talking about his performance, and y'all sitting there talking about, you know, what he talks about in his songs. Kendrick just went up there and called Drake a pedophile. So it's like y'all pick and choose on what y'all want. You know, y'all pick and choose on what y'all want. Wayne is one of the GOATs and is credible enough to be on that stage and has hundreds of hits that he could have played in front of his hometown, could have brought out whoever he wanted in his hometown. That is not wrong for people to think. It is blowing me because every single time that people has an opposing opinion against Kendrick, people get upset. Why are you guys upset? He's not above criticism. That's how I feel about it. He's not above criticism at the end of the day. Yes, you have people that can go far left. You got people that can go far right. And you don't really have people that are in the middle and not being, you know, just being unbiased in the situation. I get that. But also, he's not above criticism. That's the whole kill of this whole situation. And I'm tired of people trying to think that that they're too good or they have a better understanding of what the performance was. I get all of the performance. Like I said, all the dancers being black, their choreography was on point. You know, I'm not saying it was just I'm not saying it was trash. Me personally, I'm not saying it was trash, but it was mid. It didn't meet the expectations of what we waited for this whole year. Like, let's call it what it is. And Wayne deserves his respect. Like, for real, it's too often that now the internet plays these games where we can just disrespect legends just because we don't agree upon something. And that's why I thought that Kendrick, with his performance, it had a lot of imagery, it had a lot of things that talked about the black community, but also he's a part of the divide of the black community too. He's a part of it. But little does he know, or he does know, he's a part of the agenda. And I'm not sure that he's not just not taking accountability, but you have to take accountability for that as well too. You pushing this agenda against another black man. You want to say they're not like us and all this stuff, but you are a pawn in the agenda. They made sure that this Not Like Us was being played. At the end of the day, you were on that Super Bowl stage just because of that song. And now you chose to not play your classics. Now it just looks like that you're continually trying to fuel the fire and then of the Drake effect. You know, you're trying to get views and view, you know, you're trying to get people on your side based off of this Drake situation. It's like it's over, bro. You did what you did. And this was your victory lap, but you didn't succeed how you thought you was going to succeed. We are not wrong as a public to think that this is not a good performance. It wasn't a good Super Bowl overall to me. You know, you got the Eagles that blew out the Chiefs. You know, it was 24, like I said, 24-0. The score ended up 40-22. It didn't even represent the score actually because the Eagles dominated the whole game. But like I feel like at some point we need to keep it real. And I'm tired of saying this over and over, but the Drake hate came out of nowhere. You guys are the same people that have been listening to his music for the last 15 to 20 years, and now you turn on him. I always say this, it's the Mayweather effect. When you winning for too long, be mindful of the hate because people will turn on you when you continuously winning. The people will turn on you. So like that's my takeaway from it. I just feel like at the end of the day, stop being mad at people for saying what they want, what they feel in their opinion. I feel like the majority right now are saying it's one of the worst Super Bowls ever. And then the irony of it was a leaked audio of the performance and the set list, and a lot of people was just basically clowning the set list like, man, this is AI, this is trash. But come to reality that the leak was actually real. All the playlists and the songs that he actually played in the Super Bowl. And those were not good songs and a representation of what he should have played at the Super Bowl. Like the 2 or 3 songs that he played, that okay, DNA, Humble, and All the Stars featuring SZA, got it. Those were okay, appropriate for the Super Bowl. But y'all got on Wayne being hypocrites. Y'all got on Wayne talking about what can Wayne play at the Super Bowl that's appropriate. Like he don't have 6 foot, 7 foot. Like that he don't have mirrors. Like he don't have a milli. Like he don't have the like we can go down the whole list. You talking about a greatness of songs and catalog with Wayne that could have been performed, and then who he could have included and who he could have brought out. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people pick and choose. And in regards to Wayne, that Carter 6 rollout, with Cedar Field, it was funny. I got the play on it. Sensitive skin because everybody was clowning Wayne and they're talking about Wayne based on his response to not getting the Super Bowl. He even expressed that he felt entitled, which I agree to. But Wayne being one of the GOATs, I understood where he was coming from. And like you said, like I said before, you have fans that are so fickle. Once he made the announcement and said, I got an announcement that's coming out February 6th, everybody was excited. Everybody thought Carter 6 was dropping. Now everybody changed their tune. Oh, yeah, nah, what Wayne got going on? And then when you drop the commercial, people like, oh, dad, well, he got Carter 6 dropping June 6th. Like, why would he let us wait on this song for this long, etc.? Just people just pick and choose. But I'm excited for the Carter 6. I feel like the Carter 6 series, one of the best series in rap, in hip hop in general. You have Carter 2 and Carter 3 that are cult classics, but you do have Carter 4 and Carter 5 that were very good albums that get overlooked just because Carter 2 and Carter 3 set the standard. And I will say the first Carter is a classics too, just the nostalgic of it. But like Carter 2 and Carter 3 set the standard of what we look for in the Carter series. But I'm excited for this as a Wayne fan. As like that is my GOAT for me. So I'm excited to hear what he has in store. And I think he's going to talk about a lot of these things about how he ushered a whole game. How we talk about Steph Curry changing the game And being the face, that's what Wayne did. And Wayne did that for a long time. From '06 to 12, you couldn't tell nobody about Wayne. Prime Wayne. And for him to be in this position that he is now, to still be one of the greatest rappers ever, present day, and still be relevant, it speaks to his greatness. So, like, I really want to show him his respect, because you have a lot of people on the internet that just troll, that don't have an understanding of Wayne. Like, even to this Tweaker song, Jello just came out with the Tweaker song featuring Wayne, which I feel like was a great moment for Jello and a great moment for Wayne, just based off of the sound. And Wayne killed the feature. For me, he killed the feature because it gave that dedication and squad up Wayne. But you have an audience over here that don't even understand or know real rap. They know this generation of rap. They know mumble rap. But coming from the cloth that Wayne comes from, if you listen to his music, and if you listen to nostalgic Wayne, especially mixtape Wayne, you know what time he's on. So, like, that was another telling thing for me as far as like that song. But Wayne is Wayne. You know, Wayne is Wayne. I just wish the disrespect stopped when it comes to our legends. When certain legends are talked about, y'all pick and choose of who y'all want to hate on or who y'all want to talk about until they're gone. Because he's one of these people, like, if Wayne was to, like, knock on wood, was Wayne to go today or tomorrow, everybody would be, singing his praises. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Why we disrespect Wayne? All that. Man, come on now. Come on. And I do feel like he could have did an amazing job at the Super Bowl. I don't care what y'all say about performance-wise and all that other stuff. I felt like he would have showed up for the type of event it was, and it being in New Orleans, bro. You think he wouldn't have shown up? And then it blew me, because even within the awards, Master P coming out, they had the band the Southern band come out, HBCU. Everything matched up. Everything was matching up perfectly for that type of performance at the halftime. But it is what it is. It's water under the bridge at this point. But the Super Bowl, man, like, the Super Bowl, it is what it is. A lot of people did turn their TV off, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them turning the TV off, because just like we criticize anybody else, Kendrick is not above criticism. Like I said, the overall performance was underwhelming to me. It had a lot of good symbolism. The choreography was on point, you know, but it was lackluster. It was a lackluster performance for us. For how long we waited and all the hype, it didn't meet the expectations. Y'all, call it what it is. Call it what it is. That's all I can call it. As far as the NFL Honors Awards, they released who the MVPs are. They released all the awards. I don't agree with the MVP. I understand the pick that they made in Josh Allen, but I don't agree with that. Lamar Jackson had 4,000 yards passing, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That ratio in itself, 800 plus rushing yards. He's an anomaly. And we talk about stats all the time, and they talk about his previous MVPs not having the best statistical year, but this year he did everything in the regular season. He did everything. He accomplished everything that was set forth in the regular season. Led his team to the playoffs. We understand that he couldn't get over the hump, but if we're talking about genuinely the regular season, I don't know how Lamar Jackson was the MVP. And Josh Allen had a great year. You know, you could say he had a great year with less weapons, but he did not have the numbers like Lamar. And then you also had a Joe Burrow had the amazing numbers. You also had a Saquon, Jamar Chase that I feel like should have been in the running as well too. But yeah, I definitely feel like they slighted Lamar on this MVP. He definitely deserved this MVP. And, you know, I don't think they just threw Josh Allen the MVP because he had an amazing year too. But I do think it was a lot of, you know, NFL politics that were in that. So you had 27 votes that went to Josh. You had 23 that went to Lamar. Offensive Rookie of the Year, you know what's up. You know Jaden Daniels. Come on now. For me, it wasn't no debate. Jaden Daniels, what he's did and turn around the franchise and having the best rookie quarterback year and probably the best rookie season we've seen ever. Was just one game from the Super Bowl. And I know us Washington fans are hurt because based off of what the Chiefs put out there in the Super Bowl, if we were to beat the Eagles, man, we would have had a chance to win the Super Bowl. But that's just playing with us. You had the offensive Offensive Player of the Year was Saquon, well deserved. Like one of the best years as a running back, he dominated. Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain, locking stuff down. You had defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse. So I wasn't really mad at any of that. Just the MVP, I just personally didn't agree with. I felt like Lamar did everything statistically and on that field to win the MVP. So we'll see next year because now we have a new season, man. Everybody's 0-0. We'll see what the free agency looks like. We'll see what everybody's going to be doing moving forward. On to the next. Let's talk about this, man. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti, man. A pillar to the hip hop community, a mogul, CEO of Murder Inc. My childhood specifically, growing up, that was the soundtracks to our lives. Like what he did musically with Ashanti, with Jay-Z, with Nas, with DMX, with Ja Rule. He really put his foot in the game in that early 2000s, and really just want to show him his respect because Irv Gotti was a brilliant mind, mastermind, and one of the best storytellers of hip hop ever. And one of my favorite Jay-Z songs is "Can I Live?" Like Ashanti, think about all the classics, and Ja Rule, all the classics that they have. Like when you think about Irv Gotti, it's a certain sound that matched that time. And Irv Gotti, man, I just want to say rest in peace to him because no matter how you felt about him, no matter what you feel, you can't deny his greatness and what he did for hip hop. Because he stuck up for a lot of artists, especially ones that are notable like DMX. You know, he stepped up for DMX where the label didn't believe in him, and DMX is DMX, one of the greatest rappers of all time. And look where he went as well too. You know, even he had hits with Eve, like Irv Gotti. Like, even when looking back on his interviews, just like a brilliant mind. He had, everybody is not perfect. And he had, he had his problems personally, and people can say, he was too outspoken. But regardless of anything, you can't take away from his greatness. That's one thing you can't take away from. A lot of people were upset about 50 Cent's post. In regards to Irv Gotti, if you don't know the history, they have a long history, and their history is real. Their beef was real to the point where somebody could have died in their beef. So people were speculating should 50 even be doing that? Is that immature in him? Is it tasteless? And it's to each his own, because I know that they've been through something that was that was different. That 50 life was on the line, and they came at him, and just as 50 came at them, and they had a long-lasting beef that I feel like one of those beefs that would never end, because it was actually lives that could have been lost in that, and was lives lost behind that as well too, And even though that Irv Gotti, a lot of people speculate that he's the reason why he was shot 9 times, and you had the preem and all that other stuff. Like as far as 50, like he was willing to die about that. Like look, this beef is up until it's over. So for me, it wasn't surprising that he made that post because I know who 50 Cent is, but I can look at it and view it as tasteless too because it's over. I'm done, man. Like I'm out, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. I can't really speak for myself anymore. It is what it is. I'm gone. I passed on. And I feel like that's when the beef should end. But 50 thinks otherwise, and he's just like, man, it's up for life. Even in his demise, even in his passing, he made that post. People can view it as tasteless as well, too. People also thought him and Big Meech situation got taken too far as well, too. I felt bad for Lil Meech in this situation because he was vulnerable with 50 Cent. He talked about it in multiple interviews about 50 Cent giving him a shot when he, was really trying to find himself. So I do feel bad for Lil Meech in this situation. And as far as 50 and Big Meech, it's like, I'm not a part of the streets. None of that. But for 50, I can understand as far as loyalty, like standing with somebody. If I'm looking at it as 50, and in regards to the Big Meech situation, you standing with somebody that I don't mess with. that I have beef with, that it's up forever with. So it's kind of like with you hanging with him, it's kind of a slap in the face to me. And also, when you were in jail and you locked up, I gave your son an opportunity. I put this show out for your likeness and for you to be looked at in a certain light, but also to tell your story and give that opportunity to be that story to be told. And I had your back. And even though that Big Meech and Rick Ross, we don't know the line of their relationship, I get how 50 can look at it. It's just like, that's my op. So if you're a friend with my op, then you're a op. And I understand that in the sense of, if I had a friend and I'm at odds with this person over here, I don't mess with them at all, and I see you the next day hanging with them, chilling with them, that looks funny. That looks funny in the light with no context at all. That looks funny in the light. And but also to shoot Big Meech some bail, it's just that we've never seen him not be loyal. In a lot of instances, even with Big Meech's story, it was based off of loyalty and respect. And he respected a lot of people. Like if we're being honest, and he was loyal to a lot of people. You know, he had like loyal to a lot of people, even his brother, you know, taking a part of his sentence. It's a lot of things that he's shown that to show loyalty. So I get how it can look. We don't know the line or the relationship that him and Meech have, but if you my op, well, if I have an op and then you take a picture with one of my ops, it's like, and it's really up forever with that op. Man, look, it's hard for me to just turn a blind eye and be like, oh no, that's cool with me. And I'm not saying 50 Cent is right about all these situations that he's in, but I can understand it. That's the only thing I can say. I can understand. I don't know what I would do in this situation, because when you get to a certain point in a certain age, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know, you can't have a tough heart all the time because life is short. But if you stand on whatever you stand on, certain morals and principles, it's just like, yeah, I kind of get it. Like, it will be up forever. Why would I want to align myself with what's going on with y'all two when I just helped you out? I've done all this in hindsight while you were locked up, and you come out and you taking a picture with my op. The opposite of that, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look well. And like I said originally, I just think Lil Meech, he's in a tough situation in that, but I don't think he should be getting faulted for this. You know, I think he's an innocent bystander. Of course, his father did something, and how 50 looking at it, it's just like, whatever. You're on that side regardless of anything. You know, that's your father, and that's where your loyalty lies, and that's where your respect lies. So I can't bang with you at all. So, you know, 50 went to Instagram and just like, hey, look here, BMF over. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be auditioning for something else, and it just be like it be crazy, bro. It be crazy these situations, but it's like with 50, when you know when he got beef with you, it's up and it's stuck. If he really respects you, you know, we've seen him make amends with Jada Kisses and Fat Joe's, but those situations also came about by being next to somebody. Like, for instance, like Fat Joe stood next to Ja Rule at a certain point in time, so it was like 50, like, man, you with him, you on that side. You know, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. So I got beef with you too. Like, I'm not saying it's mature. I'm not saying it's right, but in the sense of where he comes from and street code and what he feels like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't do nothing but understand it. In regards to man, this album about to go crazy. I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. This album about to go crazy. Drake and P. D. album, man, the snippets that they've been dropping, bro. I played this snippet about 100 times. The first snippet they done dropped with Party, and then they just dropped a recent snippet with Drake. And like I said before, the music, let the music speak for itself. We ain't even gotta do too much talking, because regardless of anything, no matter what anybody thinks about Drake, you cannot say he's not one of the greatest artists ever. That just is what it is. You cannot say he's not one of the greatest artists ever. He's already put so much music out there for us to view in a certain light. So once he dropped his music, hey, look here. All I will say is all for all the haters, for all the people that chose a side, stay on that side. That's all I will say. If I'm Drake, it's up forever. It's up forever for a lot of you. Like DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled thought he was slick. DJ Khaled had a whole rollout, a whole video, had to delete his post because he talking about Drake. Drake got 2 songs. I got that Drake verse. No, you don't. That must be Drake Bell the hell you talking about. Like, for real. If I'm Drake, I would not friend any of these people in the industry. Look how they treated him. Look at the Grammys. Look who was dancing. Look at all that. I would be petty as hell if I'm Drake. And it's understandable too. And one thing I will say is that Drake had a lot of foresight in a lot of these situations that have happened, from the 30-30 freestyle, from diplomatic immunity, from 4 p.m. in Calabasas. It's a lot of songs that he made that talked about, the industry being fake and those people turning their backs on you. And in this instance, a lot of them turned their backs on him. So that stimulus package is done. That Drake stimulus package is done. That's why I be so, like, Boosie just came out and said it too. And I echo what Boosie said. It's just like, I would feel crazy if I was Drake. I gave a lot of you guys the stimulus package. And when it was beneficial for you to be on my side, you was on my side. But when it was beneficial for you to not be on my side, you chose up quick. You chose up, bruh. And it's up. Like, bro, for me, it's up forever. Like, I'm not about to sit here and play. Like, you turn your back on me, it is what it is. So this P&D collab is gonna be one of the ones. He said he got some new music he's working on, just a solo album. But right now, let's get to the melodies. Let's get to the vibes. Like, let's really get to the vibes. Dropping on Valentine's Day, you can't get bro, perfect, bro. And we need some R&B music. We need some baby making music. We need that type of aura and that type of music. You only get that type of music for certain people, like Chris Brown. It's a lot of anomalies now, that are still doing it, that are still great. But we need more of this type of music. And Drake with the melodies is undefeated. It's undefeated, boy. Because the tracks we about to get, and we've been waiting for a P&D and Drake collab. We've had a lot of songs, but we ain't had that true album collab. And with this, the snippets they dropping, it's looking to be a classic. Canelo and Crawford fight canceled. I'm not even sure the reason why, but like, Canelo, bruh, it looked like you ducking, bruh. And then it looked like you was about to sign, or you did sign a deal with Jake Paul and then back out of that, and now you in a whole nother fight, bruh. Like, come on, Canelo, because this not making you look good. Because Crawford was ready. We already had it marked up on our calendars in September, bro. Don't duck no smoke. And then Crawford was moving up in weight. So, like, I don't understand what this move was for Canelo. Like, I don't think it's a money grab at all. Canelo is definitely well off. I don't understand that. And as far as, like, Jake Paul, I feel it's 50-50 with me in regards to Jake Paul, because one side, I can respect what he's doing. I can understand and respect what he's doing as far as, like, the marketing aspect of it, because and in the sense of that, like, he's putting box on his back as far as the profiting and marketing aspect. But I think it's destroying boxing in a way too, because you have people that are just looking for a certain dollar amount. And that's when you have rigged fights. That's when you have a lot of people that are starting to use that money, that revenue, to backdoor some things. You know what I'm saying? And rigged fights, and that's when you get into the political aspect of certain things. It's just like it get weird and wicked in those ways. Man, bro, I'm a little sad, y'all. I'm a little sad that the NFL season has ended. But I'm also happy because, we get time to revamp ourselves, get things together. The NBA All-Star Weekend is coming up. I'm very curious on what they're going to do to be creative this time, because the NBA All-Star Weekend, just like the Pro Bowl, has lost its umph. It really has. It's like it just become just a social event at this point. That, like, bro, the NBA All-Star Weekend and Pro Bowl used to be a spectacle, bro. You used to run on your TV to get to it. The dunk contest. Now you dunk contest, you don't even know who the hell dunking. You know what I'm saying? Then the 3-point shooting contest has become the most popular because you have the notable, you have the notable players that are in it, but it's just like it's lackluster. And then when you get to the actual the game, the All-Star game, nobody playing defense. People scoring 200, 300 points, shooting threes and doing all this other stuff. No defense being played, bro. The integrity of the game has been destroyed in NBA and the NFL a lot. In regards to like our Pro Bowls and our All-Star weekend, because I remember All-Star weekend, bro. People were talking about that for days. You know what I'm saying? People would do. People was talking about that for days. And I do wanted to talk about this before I go, y'all. Was I didn't get to speak on it, but it was Kdot at the Grammys. Kdot at the Grammys, he genuinely made me happy because he was like one of us going there and was actually starstruck and actually enjoyed the moment. He wasn't being fake or phony. I like that Kdot is actually popular and actually in the realms that he's in, because he's also deserved it, but also you can tell he's just a genuine soul. And I think that is being missed. That's missed a lot just in general, bro. You don't have people that are very genuine, true to themselves, unapologetic, and not afraid to give praise. Everything that you do now is like, oh, you meat rider, you dick rider, you glazing, you doing this, you doing that. Like, you can't even give nobody praise or respect anybody without those conversations. So I do love that. With Kdot was at the Grammys, and just in general, like when you see his vlogs, you see his streams, he's interacting with people, he's talking with people, he's not acting too bougie or acting like he hasn't been there before. Like that is a joy to see, especially in a young man that's actually leveled up. He's on a whole nother playing field. He don't even know how popular he is. That's what I love too. When he was at the Grammys, he seen a lot of people that, he's seen a lot of people that he loved and admired growing up. And I didn't like that. A lot of them were trying to be fake and phony to him. It's just like, bro, I'm one of them now. So like, but I do love that that he actually is getting his recognition and his praise as well too. Hey man, halftime performance, y'all. Let it go, y'all. Let it go, bro. Let it go, bro. Let it go. People gonna have their opinion. People gonna voice how they feel, bro. Regardless of anything. You have the Drake fans, you have the Kendrick fans, got it. We understand the battle. We get it. But in the realm of just this performance, bro, to me it was mid. It was mid, y'all. It was mid. Yeah, other people say it was the best. It was great. The symbolism, the messaging, got it. People say it's the worst, got it. Your opinion is your opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. I wish a lot of people be more objective. I can speak for myself too. I can be more objective because sometimes I'm biased as well too. So I'm not perfect. I'm not either. But one thing I will say is that what this Super Bowl halftime performance showed me is that it's the divide. Everybody talking about symbolism and talking about the messaging in which Kendrick spoke of, but they're still practicing the same things that they said that that they want to give praise. They're still practicing the opposite in their everyday lives, and divide and trying to argue and trying to make your point and think your point is better, not coming together, not agreeing to disagree. Like the same thing applies, bro. The same thing applies. And what I will say is that at what point will y'all realize that Not Like Us is divisive? It is at this point. It is, because it's caused so much divide over a song, and y'all make Kendrick go like y'all make him look like a god when he's a human being too. You feel me? Like y'all making him look like this certain type of person when he's a human being too. He makes good music. He made this song, and he did his victory lap. Now it's okay. All right, y'all gassing it, because now it really looks like that the Drake effect. Even when you guys are dissing him, you're still profiting, and you are still part of the agenda, and you are a pawn in that agenda too. So it's like practice what you preach at the end of the day. Man, much love, man. Much love. The Phase On View podcast, man. Episode 426. Just know I'm going to continue to drop content, put on, man. As long as I got viewers, as long as I got supporters, subscribers, bro. I don't care if it's one fan or if it's 2,000 or 3,000 fans. I'm going to still drop my content. That's the difference between me and a lot of other people. I'm not just going to give up just because people say, oh, well, you don't have this amount of following. You don't have this amount of following. Nah, it's not about that. If I purely like what I like and love what I'm doing, I'm going to continue to do it. But also, I'm going to be consistent in that and give the people what they want. If I have people that's actually looking forward to the content, I'm going to drop the content. You know, I'm not going to sit here and just, I'm going to take in whatever, you know, you have to say about the content, of course. But regardless of anything, bro, I'm going to keep it pushing. You already know. Amazing episode 426.